Okay, guys, we're coming from Florida, which only has 2 seasons, but we are reviewing the new Netflix series, 4 seasons, on the next episode of Scooch Ovaries!
Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch ovaries! Robin.
I just realized I said next episode when I meant this episode.
Let's do it again.
I think they're used to me, not saying the right words.
Yeah, I think it's kind of part of your charm.
So I finally watched television, and we can talk about this latest, this week's Netflix big to-do.
First, I just want to acknowledge that you watch television. I'm so proud of you.
Well, I like me some Tina Fey.
Well, you're finally making some time for the priorities, and it's television. And you chose a good one because it wasn't that long, was it?
It wasn't, and even though it had been, since the 80s, I had watched the original, so I went into it. I think at first I went into it thinking it was the movie, and then, when you hit Netflix, I'm like, no, it's a little bit longer, but I like how they did it. So it was 8 episodes, and then 2 episodes were each season. So they really got to delve into it.
So when you see something and you go to watch it, you don't go on IMDb immediately to see how many episodes there are and how long they are and if they're all being released at once? You don't do all of that before you sit down and watch it like I do?
No, I just turned on Netflix. I thought, is it a movie or a series? It's a series. It's not too long. So.
Oh, it's akin to starting a book and reading the front and back and the forward and the acknowledgments and all that, and then putting the book down because I'm exhausted, and then never going back to the book. I've read so many jackets and forwards and thank yous and acknowledgments.
I've done that with books, but I don't know. I guess because there was so many pluses. Tina Fey, obviously, plus Will Forte, plus Steve Carell, plus Carrie Kenny Silver, plus.
She's amazing. Let's let the people know what this is based on.
It's based on the movie 4 seasons that had Alan Alda and Carol Burnett, also very much plus people I absolutely love.
Yeah. 1981 it came out, the year I graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
I remember it like the back of my hand. I love that movie. It's the movie where the phrase "Are we having fun yet?" was born.
Oh, I did not
people
know
don't.
that.
Yeah, people don't know. It's not the younger phrase. I remember Carol Burnett was getting in the car. She poked her head up because everyone around her was fighting, and she looked at everyone and said, "Is this the part where we're having fun? Are we having fun yet?" And I don't know if that's word for word because you know how movie quotes get a little twisted over time, but yeah, it was that. That came out in 1981. It was a film, and it was about 3 couples and how one of the couples has a little trouble. But they all go on vacation together over 4 seasons.
Over 4 seasons, yeah. I don't have any friend groups. Like I've got my friend group of high school friends, and then I've got a lot of comedy friends, and I've got neighbors that I've gotten really close with, but I've never gone on like a retreat with like families other than mine or friends. I've just never been in that situation where it's a group dynamic, and honestly, I don't think I would ever want to.
I feel like rich people do this.
Maybe.
And I mean, well, first of all, it's very unrealistic to depict 3 couples being able to go on 4 vacations within 1 year.
That's true.
That's very unrealistic.
That's true.
It's nuts. But
True.
They have money, they have the means, and they have the ability, and they can do it. Also, when you have couples that are friends, sometimes the couples change. And that's what this movie's all about, which is why I don't know a lot of people who do this. I don't have friends like that. For me, it was always my family. And when I was in the church for years, Bob and I would do a lot of stuff with other couples, a lot. We had a lot of things, but they were never overnight, except camping. We would go camping with another family.
Okay. Yeah, I've done camping trips before, and I've done canoeing trips before, but there was always at the heart of it like an activity.
And kids.
Yeah.
The kids were always there.
Well, I didn't really ever go canoeing with kids, but this was back in my wild 20s. But at the heart of it, it was like you would go there. I mean, you'd be social, but at the heart of it, you'd canoe. So you'd canoe, and then you'd go back to the campsite and drink more beers, and then eat stuff, and then go home the next day. But I've never been in a situation. And I mean, I guess this goes back to it's a movie or it's a series. Like in reality, if there was that much messiness, I would never go back on vacation with them again.
No.
Like if the messiness started,
Yeah.
I would probably retreat to my room and never do it again. But then that wouldn't make for a good movie.
No, and at one point in the movie, one of the characters does retreat because he's with a new friend group and he's uncomfortable.
See, that when I saw
was realistic.
Steve Carell
Yeah.
with a new friend group, I was like, 100%. That's what I would do.
Yeah, you go hide in the room.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, and you call the other friend group who's all together with your ex-wife, having a great time, saying how much you miss him and you love him. And I'm like, this is the best part of this movie.
Yeah.
But I'm jumping ahead. Robin, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was
Sorry.
really good. It had been, I think I'd only watched the original one once, and it was in the 80s when I was a kid in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So although I did enjoy it, I think I understood it because the group is now my age. I mean, they're in their mid 50s. So when you watch, when you're like 11, 12 and watch a group of people who are in their mid 50s, you can't relate to it. I definitely could relate to really every character in some aspect. And I thought it was really good. Part of it, I didn't remember, and we're doing some spoiler alert. So if you've not watched the series and want to, probably watch it and then come back now.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember the ending being as sad in the movie. I didn't remember that.
I didn't remember that at all. And while I did enjoy the original movie and was thrilled to see that Tina Fey was remaking that film, I got to tell you, my happy memories from the first one are needing to be revisited because it's not a lighthearted comedy. It's a very moving, poignant story of friendship and relationships.
That's
it's poignant. It's not a comedy. If you're looking for a laugh out loud funny, this isn't the show for you.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, because like Carrie Kenny Silver, I first met her in Reno 911, and every time that girl opened her mouth, it was just insane and hilarious. And I think she did a really good job being.
She's an amazing actress.
She really is, and it's not funny. I mean, there's laugh out loud moments in it, but it's not a comedy.
No, and most of the laugh out loud moments are her.
And Tina Fey.
And Tina Fey.
Tina Fey's got some
Tina
really
Fey's
good
just
stuff.
a bitch in this movie, and I love when she plays a bitch.
I kind of feel like that might be, in a loving way, kind of close to her actual personality.
Probably. There's just a line in the film where she's sitting with her husband and they're complaining because they know they're going to have to go on a boat, and the other people are talking about them, and they say, them complaining, that's basically how they have sex. And then they show the two of them sitting on a bench saying, it's going to be so hot on that boat. And the other one goes, I know. And I'm like, yeah, I could very much relate to the Tina Fey character, but I also related to the gay couple because I thought, oh, that's fun. They're different, but they're, and here's the fun thing that when Robin and I started talking about it, I said, it's so cute. In the original movie, it had three couples, and it was
All straight couples.
all straight couples. And this one, there's a gay couple, and Robin said what?
I said, you almost kind of forgot they were a gay couple. It wasn't like they were a token gay couple. It's almost like you just forgot. They just became one of the other couples, and you kind of had a vested interest in them. And I really like the Italian guy. And
yeah.
I could kind of relate to his husband, the black guy. Yeah. And I liked his relationship with Tina Fey. I felt like that was the spine of the relationship. Had they not gotten so close, then probably the whole group wouldn't have existed.
And I had a little trouble because I kept forgetting the characters' names, and they were talking to be like, I don't know which one that is. And I was like, because I didn't connect their names to their characters at all, and I was like, oh, this is important. I need to figure out which one's Danny. What the fuck is happening? But I wanted to say that it's the goal. I'm being obnoxious about it. I don't know if anybody knows how I feel about gay rights, but it's come up a time or two. I'm relentless in my desire for equality and equity when it comes to people just getting over shit. And one of the arguments is always, well, why do you have to keep mentioning it? I'm like, because it's not just there and left alone anymore. It's always like, oh, that's not right. So for Robin to say, I forgot they were gay, that's been the fucking goal the whole time. And it doesn't have to be announced or talked about.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be dealt with. It doesn't have to be a thing. There's nothing in this film about gay rights ever at any point in this film. It doesn't have to be about that. And it's it's refreshing to see a story where there doesn't have to be a part where somebody has a horrible thing said to them. I like that part.
It was kind of akin to how it was dealt with in Schitt's Creek. It was just like, you know, it's about three couples and you know, the Italian guy and the black guy were a couple.
Yeah. And I will get off my soapbox now, but what did you think of Tina Fey's acting in this?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was real. I saw like a TikTok or something where she read a review where people said her acting was bad.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I thought it was really good. And unless again, it was just that's kind of who she is at the center. But I saw a lot of myself in her character.
Did you really?
I saw a lot of myself in that character. Yeah.
And just the need to like move on to the next thing, or the need to correct, or what?
Yeah, just
Control?
being pessimistic and
pessimistic.
yeah, and just sort of like I don't know. She tries to be nice, but then she can only kind of do it to a certain level, and she's just. I saw a lot of myself in her. I saw a lot of myself in. You know, the bigger black guy who was married to the Italian
Coleman
guy.
Domingo. I want to say Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo.
Yes.
And I saw a lot of myself in Steve Carell. I saw a lot of myself in that.
I feel like I was Will Forte the whole time. He's just fucking things up and saying the wrong thing, and then when he has to correct it, he doesn't. I just enjoyed his inability to fix shit, and he was constantly having to lay down, like, bring me a banana. It's like I was like, oh God, I'm a lot of Will Forte.
I could identify the Will Fortes in my life, but I didn't feel like I was Will Forte. I felt like I was more Tina Fey. Who was your favorite character?
Oh, favorite character. Ooh. Okay, like somebody I'd like to actually hang out with?
Or someone that you thought, like, this is the character that I like the most.
This is going to sound weird, but it was the girlfriend.
Me too.
Oh, I thought like she just had a level head.
I did too.
Yikes.
And because right before we started, I go, we're going to have like such different, because I figured I was going to say like, I like the girlfriend. You're going to be like, what? But I did. I like, of
she
all
was
of
trying.
them,
she was the biggest risk taker.
she was the biggest adult in the room.
Yes,
too.
she was. She was much more mature than the rest of them.
She was. And you know, the character I really did not like,
Who?
the daughter, the redheaded daughter.
Oh, the one with
Carrie
the play?
Kinney and Steve. I felt like she was
a monster.
She was
She was a monster.
mean. And when they were all,
Horrible.
when when she had this play, I just felt like saying, "Grow up."
Yeah.
You're not like an 8-year-old. Like, grow up. Just move on with your life. You're in college. Be an adult. Put on your big girl pants. Sometimes things don't work out. Grow up.
That felt akin to when a celebrity's kid goes online and says they're full of shit. It felt like that. Like, why are you calling your dad out and insulting your dad's new girlfriend in that way? And I heard me just say that just now. Because if you're going to be married, stay married. If you're not going to be married, don't stay married. The girlfriend's character was someone who made him grow. Steve Carell's character grew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
I thought he did, and I liked, and without giving too, and I knew we said that there were spoilers,
We're
but
all
without
over the
giving
place.
too much.
Everyone dies.
Everyone's wise. No, at the very end, when they get into like their, when the girlfriend and Steve Carell get into their fight because he's, hiding away, it really faces him like he's kind of the same. I don't want to say bad guy because I don't think in the heart he was a bad guy, but he had the same bad tendencies in this relationship that he did in his marriage. And I was like, wow, that spoke to me because I was like, that's really an eye opener that it wasn't the situation. It was 100% him.
It was. I need to look up the actor that played that role in the first movie because I did not like that character in the first movie because he was married to Sandy Dennis, and Sandy Dennis was the Carrie Kennedy Silver. Is that her name?
I don't remember anyone but Alan Alda and Carol Burnett.
Len Cariou. He was often been on Broadway. He played Nick. Sandy Dennis played the wife, which was the Carrie. Rita Moreno was with Jack Weston. They were the other couple.
Oh no!
They're the other couple. They were replaced by the gay couple. And Bess Armstrong was the girlfriend in the original. She was the mother in My So-Called Life. Do you know Bess Armstrong? No. I'm talking to Robin about celebrities, and she's just lost.
I mean, I don't. No. Okay. Again, I saw the movie in the 80s, but none of it rings a bell. She kind of looks like Christine. What's her name?
Baranski?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. She actually does in these pictures. Old Bess Armstrong is young Christine. Oh, that's funny. Anyway.
But
these series, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought it was a really good series. I almost think how they left it, you could, if they came up with like a second series, which that would have to be from scratch, because basically, the movie was, or the series was the movie. But if they came out with a season 2, they would have to be from scratch.
The line at the very end of the last episode made me immediately think of the line at the last episode of the redo of the Gilmore Girls.
Oh.
It's like, maybe we'll do more.
Maybe we'll do more.
Maybe we'll do more.
We're leaving the door open.
We'll leave that spoiler open, but if you've watched the Gilmore Girls, you know what I'm talking about. And we did give a lot of spoilers in this, and we'll probably give some more, but it was a series that came from a movie, and they took their time with it. It's only 30 minutes maybe each episode. They're not long. I did it in one night. I watched the whole thing. The whole thing's less than 4 hours if you watch the whole thing, which people are like, oh, I can't watch a movie that's 3 hours. I'm like, but you'll watch a series for 8 hours, because stop it. And I'm not talking to you specifically because you don't watch movies, but I'm just saying, I think that the reviews that came out weren't all positive. I think, once again, the bar was set too high because Tina Fey's involved.
Yeah, and Carrie Kinney Silver's involved, and Will Forte's involved.
And Steve Carell.
Everyone's
in there. Coleman Domingo is like tremendous. It's just a great thing to watch, but it's not a comedy. It's a poignant story of relationships and friendships.
I was about ready to say, I mean,
it's fucking beautiful.
It's a very real take on relationships, especially long-term relationships.
Yeah.
And it's not, there's not like a happy bow and no one lives happily ever after. It's still a struggle and yeah.
Did you watch The White Lotus season 3?
I haven't watched.
Why did I think I was gonna? Yeah. What the fuck? Okay.
I was so happy. I was like, Mayor, I watched television.
I'm gonna let it. I'm not gonna give you a demerit for not watching The White Lotus. Thank you for watching the 4 seasons. I can't believe we both watched something and are able to talk about it. This is the first time this has happened in our friendship. We've known each other for 87 years. This is the first time.
It was 1947 when we met at Coconuts Comedy Club.
And she said, say, sister, how do you pronounce that last name of yours?
You know what? You look good in slacks.
Is that accent okay? Tell us in the comments below.
File in the comments below. Yeah, it was a really, really good film. I would highly recommend it. And I'm trying to think of anything else. I think my second favorite character was probably the Italian guy. I feel like he had the most heart.
I loved him. Mm-hmm. I loved everything about him when he was throwing all the clothes out the window. Listen, it's complicated. The scenery's beautiful. Also, if I may, just another reminder that this is rich people. This story's about rich people. They go skiing. That's not a thing that normal people do.
And then they have just these houses that they can have ponds in the back of.
Yeah, and have like a marriage renewal in your backyard.
Yeah.
When they pulled out that wheelchair and tried to roll it on the gravel driveway, I was like, oh, this is a comedy. And it was just done subtly.
Yeah.
And it was like, there it is. There it is. When they just leave the camera on, you're like, oh, this is going to be good. Tina Fey's storytelling abilities are great. She did not direct it. She wrote it with 2 of her gal pals from 30 Rock's writing days. And I will get those names for you because it's important. I keep waiting for Meredith Scardino to come back from Girls 5 Eva. But I'm sure she's got something else to do.
And I don't know, did we talk about this in the camera or off? But Alan Alda makes a cameo.
We didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing moment.
Yeah, Alan Alda makes a really great cameo.
He plays Carrie's father. Right? He's her father?
Yeah.
I got you. I'm looking. Carrie Kenny. Why do we keep saying she has 3 names? Because didn't she have a 3rd name?
Yeah, maybe she went back to Carrie Kinney, but at one time she was Carrie Kinney Silver.
Okay. Marco Calvani plays the Italian Claude. Erica Henningsen is Ginny, the girlfriend. Coleman Domingo is amazing as Danny, Steve Carell. The bitch that plays the redheaded daughter is horrible. Her name is Julia Lester.
I'm sure she's a nice person. Just her character, I just felt like, I think it would be different if it would have been about, I don't know, a 12-year-old girl or a 14-year-old girl, or maybe she was just absorbing like all her mother's pain. But I was just like, you're doing your own thing in college. Like,
yeah, get over it.
Grow up.
Lang Fisher was the director of 2 episodes. I believe she was one of the writers as well. Tina Fey's husband, Jeff Richman, he's a director of an episode. Of course, the music. She wrote it, and she wrote it with Lang Fisher and Tracy Wigfield. You would recognize those names on the credits of 30 Rock. That's who those people are. So you're starting off with a stable of comedy geniuses with lots of experience, getting out there, taking an old beloved movie, getting permission from Alan Alda, who wrote the original one and stars in it. He does a cameo in this. It's fucking delicious. I do have to say, though, removing all of the accolades and the goodness, I was still waiting for something else. So while it was a delicious dessert and I loved it, and I think it was poignant and beautiful, I think I wanted something else, and I don't know if that something else was more comedy. What do you think it was?
Oh.
Something was missing from it. Did you feel that?
I kind of went into it knowing it wasn't going to be a knee slapper just because I had watched the original. I don't know. I kind of liked that there wasn't like it wasn't like a happy ending. It was more like a life ending, because it almost seemed like Will Forte and Tina Fey's character was going to wrap it up in a big bow. And they sort of did, but then they sort of didn't.
It was interesting to see them be fine for 3 seasons, and then it was kind of like, oh, they're not good. The 2 of them aren't good. His character weakened, and hers just got more annoyed, I feel like.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. But all in all, very satisfying watch. I highly recommend it.
Out of a scale from 1 to 10, I would give it...
On the Enneagram personality test?
I would give it a 7.5.
Would you give it a 7.5?
I mean, it wasn't like life-changing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a news story, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7. So I went down a rabbit hole then and watched Baby Mama and Sisters. I lost my mind a little bit and was just jonesing. It's like, the methadone clinic for the heroin addict. It's like, I need more. I need more. And I did it backwards. I watched 4 seasons, and then last night, I watched Sisters, which was from 2015, and then I watched Baby Mama. So they're getting progressively younger. So it's funny to watch it that way, because I'm like, oh my God.
You know what rabbit hole I've been going down is I've been watching video clips when Amy Poehler first started on Conan O'Brien's show, where she played
12.
Yeah, where she played Andy Richter's little sister.
Yeah,
and she had oh my gosh, she was so good in that.
She had the face braces on.
Yeah, and then she would have like all these like. And she was all of like 5 foot. I mean, she was in her 20s, but she really did look like she was about 12 years old.
Yeah.
She was all like 5 foot nothing, probably like 96 pounds, soaking wet. And she would have these, and this was when she was just starting out. She's probably just a college age,
Yeah.
And she would have all these like lines, like, you just have to go watch them. She'd have all these lines, and she'd just fill them with the gusto and be like, for the love of you and me, Conan, I will forever drench in your love. And it was so funny. And she was doing this like not on stage, so I'm sure at some point, until people really got that, some of the audience members would be like, is this a bit? Is this real? But then it goes so far, like it has to be real. But oh my gosh, she's just brilliant.
She is. Mm-hmm. She is brilliant. And we cannot say enough about her new podcast.
Yeah, her new podcast is really good.
Good hang. It's great. Go watch it. Go listen to it. Repeat it. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone, even some of the people she had on, it wasn't that I wasn't not fans of them, but just some people I wasn't as familiar as other people. And they've all just been they've all been fantastic. Absolutely lovely.
I didn't get a chance to check out the latest one, but the one before that was Jack Black, which I didn't watch yet. And I have something I need to get looked into, because I don't want to watch it because he's a boy. What's wrong with me?
I didn't want to watch it because it's not that I didn't like him. It's just He's just a lot. But I'll tell you, when he gets, it's you.
When
would
we say someone's a lot, that's bad. He's a lot.
like I love the School of Rock, and then when my kids were little, he was on this TV show. It was just one episode, but it was called Yo Gabba Gabba, and my kids got the biggest kick. His energy is just like roar all the time. But I do have to say, it's a very good episode, and I think Amy brings out the best of him, or maybe she brings out who he really is, and he kind of breaks the facade. But he's not like the whole. I mean, he's a little bit, but not the whole entire time. And then there's a humanity about him, and he talks about his sons. So it was better than I thought. And the Giggly Squad one too. I had listened to the Giggly Squad. And I mean, I didn't dislike them. Again, I didn't really know them. And that was a really good episode, too.
I will check it out.
Yeah. It was.
I think when Jack Black was around, I thought, I guess I have to put him in that little box in my curio cabinet for that role. And then Zach Galifianakis came along and I said, fuck off, Jack Black. We have Zach Galifianakis, which is the promise of Jack Black, which is not fulfilled. Now, am I an asshole for saying that? I don't care. I think Zach Galifianakis is fucking everything.
Love Zach Galifianakis.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's a big teddy bear.
He's what I wanted Jack Black to be. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, Jack Black just has a lot of like
Controversial talk.
energy and
Well, the whole rap thing and the tie-dye shirt and the beard that's too big and what's going on, and are you trying to be Chris Farley? What are you doing?
Yeah, but I think I believe you might like the interview because it was, like I say, I think she really likes him and they've known each other for years, and he was palatable with her.
Palatable makes me want to run to the palatable.
Potable.
It's drinkable water.
I almost skipped that one as well too, but I was like, I don't know, that's your girl. You gotta listen.
How are you gonna have Tina Fey, Rashida Jones, Catherine Hahn, and expect me to not expect that level to stay there? You can't like bang, 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 and then it's like.
Well, did you listen to Martin Short? That was a pretty good one too.
Yeah, it was a good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I felt like he talked down to her a little bit once in a while. But I guess he was being funny. Or is he kind of an asshole?
He's kind of like that generation Don Rickles, because he talks like that to everyone. I've probably seen everything Conan O'Brien's done a million times, and he will rip Conan to shreds. But it's equal.
How did I miss this part of Martin Short?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
He does that. Like he's Don Rickles-esque.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he was saying that, it wasn't him being mean. I think it was just him being silly.
That's fantastic. Okay, I should look at it differently. Because I thought, Martin Short's a dick. I didn't know that. It was a surprise. I thought he was sweet. But I assume people are sweet. I mean, I'm surprised every time I find out how people really are. That's why I like Tina and Amy. I think that's who they are.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing who they are. I think Catherine Hahn is showing us who she is. I think Rashida Jones is showing us who she is. These are women I admire. Anna Gasteyer, she's out there being her truest form. She's out there doing fucking Broadway show. Maya Rudolph, Natasha Lyonne. These are the women I'm going to go watch and listen to.
Yeah.
I don't need these boys being like, well, you know how shut the fuck up. Close the door on your way out, asshole. No, and I'm not an anti-misogynist. Wait, I don't even know what word.
I think you are anti-misogynist.
I'm anti-men. I'm definitely anti-misogyny. I had a little confusion there. Look, ladies are better. Unapologetically saying ladies are better. Sorry. No, I'm unapologetically saying it. Sorry. Robin, I'm going to pull back. Do you have any segments that didn't make it as segments for this week?
Yes. My first segment that didn't make it as a segment is, where are the Delta men?
What?
Because you always hear about Alpha and Beta men, but where are the Delta men? It's stupid.
If you have to explain it, it's better. I thought you meant
the
animal
rule of comedy. Make it explainable. Where like you say the joke and then 3 or 4 more sentences to tell what the joke's about. That's rule of comedy.
Maybe it's not Jack Black. Maybe I'm the asshole.
No. I mean, I'm not pro Jack Black, but I'm saying it was a good it was a good interview. I think she brought out the best in him.
I will watch it. We do encourage you to watch the 4 seasons. We encourage you to watch the Amy Poehler Good Hang. And I've got a segment that didn't make it as a segment. When did sweat jackets become hoodies?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that everyone's calling everything a hoodie, even if it doesn't have a hood.
What?
Well, maybe that's just my kids.
We called them sweat jackets. Do they not like the word sweat? Is that the problem?
Oh, I think that's,
Everything
again,
was-
you somehow are still living in the 1940s. But we called them sweat jackets and we loved it. No, I think I'm just noticing the opposite. That everyone's calling sweatshirts hoodies, even when or maybe that's my children.
Do we still say sweatpants or do we say workout clothes?
I think we still say sweatpants.
Okay, if we can say sweatpants, why can't we say sweat jacket? I don't understand.
You're talking about
A hoodie. It's a fucking
With
hoodie.
a fleece.
Yeah, what else is it going to be?
So if you had a crew,
Yelling.
if you had a crew sweatshirt.
You hear the word sweat? You just said it. You just said sweatshirt.
Oh, so you're thinking of a zip jacket.
Oh my fucking God.
Okay.
Robin, you make up words. Did you just say zip jacket?
No, that's not a real thing.
Do you say that?
No. Okay, I'm going to steal one of your segments that didn't make it as a
Please,
segment.
please do. Jesus.
The next segment that didn't make it as a segment is, why do we still have landline phones? Does anyone still have a landline phone?
I don't. I just assume there's still some out there.
Okay.
Oh,
probably are.
we have them at work.
Oh, that's true. Businesses
Yeah.
have landlines.
Businesses.
Business.
If you're doing your business, you got to have... No, that sounds bad because then it would be in the bathroom. Well, I got all worked up in this episode.
Sorry if you're a Jack Black fan, but this was real controversial.
I used to get in trouble for not being a Chris Farley fan. Then I got in trouble for... I can't stand Adam Sandler. I'm never on the right side of that argument. There's a couple of boys, I'm like, why are we going to... Bob looked like Kevin James, so I never liked that show.
Yeah. I feel like I don't really watch any Adam Sandler stuff. I feel like from just watching interviews of him, he seems like a decent guy, but his movies are a little much. I don't
think I've ever laughed out loud at anything he ever said.
But I think he's like a nice father and a good neighbor, and I think he's a good person. But I wouldn't ever pay money to watch a movie of his.
I don't know that Tina Fey's a good neighbor. I don't think Neighbor has ever been anything I gave a shit about. I'm a horrible neighbor. Horrible. I don't like my neighbors. You're a good neighbor. You know your neighbors' names and shit. I don't.
I do, yeah. I mean, some neighbors I like, some neighbors I don't.
Robin, I have one more segment that didn't make it as a segment.
And what was that?
Well, we're going to keep it positive. Why can't I shoot tailgaters?
Have you never been tailgating?
Have I never been tailgating?
Like been to a tailgate?
Oh, Robin, no. I mean when I'm on the road and someone's on my ass.
Oh, I thought you meant someone who's just like...
I'm going to shoot people
having
drinking in a parking lot?
Yeah,
That's none of my business.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Have your drinky drink, as Robin would say, in the parking lot with your zip on.
I was like, you know what? I've known you for a long time, and I could see you like really enjoying like a beer and a dog, and you know, hanging with friends, and then being like, oh, the game's gonna start. I'm not gonna watch it, but I enjoy the social aspect of it.
I'm fine with tailgate parties. I don't like when people ride on my ass when I'm driving down the road.
Oh,
I said
yeah.
tailgater.
Yeah, no, that I totally misunderstood that. Yeah,
That's the first
I
time.
I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, I don't like it because then they're going to hit me if I stop short. Because
Yeah.
I may stop short because I don't know what's going to happen in front of me.
Yeah, who knows?
Robin, I think we covered it. Did we cover it?
I think we did. So we are recommending the 4 seasons. We're not recommending Jack Black, but we are recommending Amy Poehler's Good Hang podcast.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. So, yeah, I mean, you're not going to come here and hear us say too much shit about Tina and Amy because that's the altar we worship at. Mm-hmm. We love them very much. We love everything they do. We're both wearing our Girls 5 Ever t-shirts because, again, a wonderful series that was on 3 seasons. Netflix was great, brought it back for a 3rd season, and then fucked up and canceled it because we can never have anything nice.
We can't. Sad times.
Thank you for listening to our comedy podcast.
Some episodes are more comedy than podcasts. Some are less.
I probably should go for a run. That's kind of funny. I'm not running anywhere. We're going to go because we're going to have lunch. But thanks for listening
to this latest episode of Scooch Ovaries!
Scooch over. Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch ovaries!